You spin me right round, baby, right round. And it's time for Giratina. Okay. Giratina. I've actually been waiting to use this thing for a hot minute. I have the perfect idea for how to use Giratina. Let's see. Giratina, again, it was one of those Pokemon that was super good thanks to Dynamax format. It got things like Dual Wing Beat. It got access to Poltergeist. Those are just great options for, being a Maxmon and just a good Pokemon in general for this format. But I do think that Giratina struggles a little bit. There are two forms. Do I want regular Giratina or do I want Origin Giratina? The good thing is, regular Giratina is bulkier and it can hold an item. I'm actually looking at policy right now, thinking I might want to policy it up. The problem with Giratina, though, obviously, is that it has the same weaknesses as Shadow Rider and all of the other Dragon Pokemon. So everyone that's teching Fairy and Dragon moves that beat things like Palkia and other restricted dragons, they beat Giratina. And everyone teching, Dark and Ghost type attacks to beat Shadow Rider, they also do beat Giratina. I do think, though, that we can make something work. I'm going to put Giratina in our team builder. I'm going to put this form because I kind of want to try and make it work with a weakness policy. Remember, because we're going to be self-policy procking probably, we do not want telepathy. We're going to be using pressure today. We're going to put him under pressure, as they say. And I have the perfect Pokemon to policy proc, but similar to other team building guides we've done, we want to add some correct speed control. So we're probably going to want to add a Regieleki, just a great overall Pokemon in this format. I think we might want to still add a Rillaboom. I think Giratina is good enough matchup versus Kyogre where we don't necessarily need it. But I do think we want some sort of really, really big Tailwind setter. So obviously the big three are going to be things like Whimsicott, Tornadus, and then Talonflame. I think Whimsicott's probably going to be best here just because its Fairy typing can make a great switch in for Giratina's, Dragon weakness to Fairy. So Whimsicott looks like a pretty good slot here. We're definitely going to want to add a fake out user, and I don't think we need to double up using Whims and Rilla in this situation. This looks like a job for Incineroar. Incineroar packs, fire typing to resist the dual ice weakness we're packing right now. Incineroar's dark typing also resists all of those moves that would be really, really good versus Giratina. So Incineroar is great. Also gives us a little bit more of an offensive option versus things like Zacian. So I'm liking the way this is looking. And I have one Pokemon that will be my last Pokemon that's super secret tech. But I think we need one more really, really cool option. I actually think something like a Mindshout could be totally usable here. Being able to go for a coaching into the Giratina, that could be kind of nice. But let's see. What's one Pokemon? I guess Redirection could work. Redirection could work. Amoonguss could. No, Amoonguss could almost work here. I'm not a big fan of Amoonguss. Let's see. If you guys have any ideas, think about let me know in the comments. But what's the perfect Pokemon to pair in this last spot with Giratina? Something like Stakataka could be cool. There's so many good Pokemon, right? There's so many. Yeah, I'm liking the redirection idea. Good thing about Giratina, I guess one good thing is when you have those ghost type restricteds like Giratina, Lunala, and Dawnwings, is they're not affected by Fake Out. So you don't necessarily need to protect them from those moves, but what you do want to do is surround them with Pokemon who can stand on their own without also being Fake Outed. So Inner Focus Mons are really good here. So Entei, Suicune are great options. Let's just type in Wicket's Inner Focus. I think we might actually just end up going with Mindshout. These are some solid Inner Focus options here, just so we have solid lead options that we can lead with Giratina. So if they want to lead something like Rillaboom or Incineroar, or even their own Mindshouts, they're not happy campers. Dragonite would be cool, but it's going to clash with the last Pokemon we're going to add, so I don't think we need that. Let's see. Entei, we already have the Incin. I don't actually think there's a problem doubling up with Entei and Incin. I think that's still a super cool board. We could even go with a secondary Fake Out user. We could add something like a Rillaboom. Definitely could still do that. Let's see. Don't really need the Hitmonchan. Don't need the Glalie. Crobat, I don't think we need necessarily multiple Tailwind setters like that. I think the Prankster Tailwind's fine. Alakazam's a little bit all over the place. Lucario, we can go for a Choice Scarf Final Gambit like we've used in previous teams. I think that could actually be good in this situation. I think when I used Lucario in that team, I think it was a Lunala team or as an Ice Rider team last week, I don't think it performs terribly. It also gives Feint if we need it. I don't necessarily think this team needs Feint. I think this would be better off as a Mindshout. That would technically be better off as a Mindshout, and I'm just not feeling it. Maybe something like Cart. How good is Cart in this format? Who knows? yeah, we're still thinking about what we realistically want to do. I will say that I'm using my choice scarf already, so I don't want to give away too much info about what our mon in the back is, but it's a pretty spicy tech. Something like Nihilego could also be kind of nice. Nihilego could check things like Zerm, which would be problematic. Other Incineroars, which is problematic. So yeah, I might actually just go with Nihilego. I think Nihilego is a great option here. Again, it's another switch in defensively for Giratina to mitigate that dragon attacks too. And the last Pokemon here is one that I actually think brings... I've been waiting to use this thing for like a really, really long time. People sleep on Kommo-o. People are like, Kommo-o? Oh, that's so much fairy weakness. Oh, it has flying weakness, it has ice weakness. There's so many weaknesses on the thing. Why would you run Kommo-o? And the inner Gen 4 player within me just screams for Kommo-o to be good, because a dragon and fighting type, that would have been so good at dealing with Scar and Bliss back in the day. I think Kommo-o still has so much untapped potential. This thing gets moves that you wouldn't even dream of this thing getting. And I actually just really, really like Kommo-o. It's also a pretty good Pokemon if the meta is dominated by things like Urshifu, Rillaboom, Incineroar. Kommo-o's great. A couple other really good Pokemon are things like Shadow Rider and Zacian. We can Scarf to outspeed those things and have super effective options that can still deal really, really good damage against them. The number one thing, though, when you're picking your Kommo-o is, do we want to use Bulletproof, Soundproof, or Overcoat? There's good and bad things about all of them. So Bulletproof, so that makes the user immune to any ballistic moves, so things like Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Focus Blast. There's actually a ton of moves. I would highly suggest you guys look up what this actually makes you immune to. But yeah, if our Giratina is weak against Shadow Ball and people are taking Shadow Ball, this would make us immune to that. So it'd be a great switch in for Giratina there. Case in point, like also if like you're using like a Xerneas team and you're really afraid of eating those Sludge Bombs, like I remember back when Gengar was still big when Kommo-o came out, like Kommo-o was the perfect switching because it blocks Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball. It was so good. Soundproof is really good whenever there's Hyper Voice users that are boosted by like, you know, Pixelate and things like that. So it's really, really good in those situations. It also makes it immune to Perish Song. So that's definitely still an option as well. But I actually think the one we are going to go with is Overcoat. It says, Pokemon is immune to powder moves and damage from Sandstorm and Hail, and the powder move that we're going to be really trying to play around is something like Rage Powder / Spore. So we can switch it on Spore, we're not affected by the Rage Powder, and we're able to do basically whatever we want in these situations, while still having the illusion of them respecting things like Soundproof and Bulletproof. That's how you want to do it. I think the number one thing that we're going to be wanting to do with this Kommo-o is, like I said, we're going to Scarf it. And for those of you wondering, like, why are you going to choice Scarf this Kommo-o? Like, what does it really get? What's its speed tier? Let's go to our damage calc. Plug in a Kommo-o here. And so, remember, I actually think that we've shown a little bit of, like, Scarf Lando to be able to outspeed Zacian and other things like that. I think Kommo-o is actually in a really, really good spot. Because we may get Timid, right? And you can see it goes to 150, which isn't necessarily that fast. I'm not going to lie, it's not that fast. But with the Scarf on it, goes 225, guys. If you remember, Shadow Rider's 222, Zacian is 220, and Pheromosa is 223. This outspeeds that by 2 points and speed creeps it. Even if we were to take out a couple points, we're still speed tying Pheromosa, so you want to just keep that 252. It's one of the few Pokemon where 252 full investment is actually the right investment to outspeed its threat. So this is as slow as you can possibly be at +1 to still outspeed things like Zacian, Shadow Rider, Pheromosa, and as well as every single other Pokemon that, you know, it falls under that tier. Also, if you were to go to +2, like let's say I were to use like our Regieleki and go for like an Electro into the Regieleki, we'd be able to outspeed and other things like that. So we'd be able to outspeed a lot more other things. At +3, we're even outspeeding like +1 other Pokemon that are in like the base 100 speed tiers and stuff like that. So like let's say Wims and Tailwind, we're outspeeding other things once they have +1. And there's a whole bunch of other calcs, but I do think that like a Kommo-o with a choice Scarf being able to outspeed these things is going to be really, really nice. And it's going to make it the perfect disguise for, you know, enabling our weakness policy, because we're using Brutal Swing to proc it. Brutal Swing, remember, it's a dark type attack. It's going to be able to hit every single Pokemon, including opposing Shadow Riders if we want to. But more importantly, it's going to be able to hit our Giratina. And the first thing to calc is here, let's put this Brutal Swing here and see how much damage we're actually doing. Hopefully we're not doing like over 10% to our Giratina with Brutal Swing. We will be using a Tibinator, like I said, and we will be using 0 IVs in attack. So let's just plug in a Giratina here. Giratina. And we're using the bulkier Giratina almost on purpose. So that's actually a pretty significant amount from this Brutal Swing. But hopefully we get Intimidated or something, who knows. I don't think that's too much damage. Obviously when people self-policy prog nowadays, they're definitely used to doing it with, you know, on Dynamax Mon, so it's kind of hard to make these things work in these restrictive formats, but I still think it can work. We're obviously going to end up putting like a ton of points in bulk on Giratina, probably at least in like defense, like, you know, that's definitely something we can mitigate. We just want to find on Giratina next, though, like how much speed does Giratina need to outspeed things like Shadow Rider, which would basically just be going into +2 right here. So you can see we already are speed tying Zacian, this speed ties Shadow Rider, this outspeeds Mosa. So I think a speed stat like this, similar to the way we built Groudon the other day, is absolutely fine. It gives us the max amount of bulk for the reward, and we're functioning at this speed tier in a Tailwind at the same speed tier we'd be if we were built like this, basically. We'd only be able to outspeed a Lecky with that, and Giratina isn't really afraid of Regieleki. So putting 12 points in speed on Giratina is going to be just basically all we need. And after that, I really wonder like how much attack investment we need on this thing. Should we even run like Poltergeist? I think actually we should go Poltergeist over the Shadow Force. Shadow Force is still such a good move. Like, it's way better than Phantom Force. It's a 120. It's so good, but it's so abusable by like switches and stuff like that. And remember, Giratina can get super intimidated spammed, so it's not like immune to that like things like Solgaleo would be. So I think Poltergeist is definitely good enough. 110 is amazing. I think in terms of like dragon attacks, we might want to go with a dragon attack. I know we're definitely going to need a protect. Do you get Dragon Dance? Never lucky. Yeah, we'll look at the rest of the movesets. We'll look at the rest of the set when we actually get to it. But, you know, things like Earthquake are still pretty cool. It gets Iron Head. It gets, you know, Dragon Claw. It gets Shadow Sneak, Stone Edge. I've used Stone Edge a lot. I think Stone Edge is pretty good. Let's actually just run a couple Stone Edge calcs right now since we're here. So Stone Edge. Let's see if I got a +1 Stone Edge. How much damage that does like an Incineroar. Alright, and hopefully you guys are liking these little videos where we go talk a little bit more about like the calcs and go a little bit more in depth about, you know, building your teams and thinking of the, like, like this is a perfect example, like going in and talking about like, man, Giratina really doesn't like fighting Incineroar. How can we deal with it? What are some steps we can take? You can see right here against this Incineroar, if I'm at +1, which basically is their Intimidate affecting me, and I have 0 attack investment, I do over half with my Stone Edge, which is kind of nice. I think, like I said, that's kind of nice. If I were to crit it, it'd go through that, and I'd be able to get the KO. At +2, I'm still not getting the KO, so let's say I'm able to get my proc after Incineroar's like already been on the board, like I switch in and then get my proc, so I'm able to get that. I would like this to KO, if possible, but I do think that would take like way too much investment. That would take almost 252 investment to guarantee that K going, and I almost want to say no opponent's going to actually let me have that. So I think the number one calc to get is obviously a 2-shot Incineroar with Stone Edge at +1 is great. I think that's totally fine. I would like to see how much damage you do to Kyogre and make sure that we can KO Kyogre with a +2 Poltergeist. I think that's a really, really important calc to get, and it's definitely worth it for me. So Poltergeist here. Poltergeist is such a good move, actually. It's a 110 base move. So you can see Poltergeist right there. Gotta give Kyogre an item. Let's give it a Mystic Water. Perfect. So there's something to actually knock off. So you can see that's a +1 calc right there. That's a +2. Do we need 252? We actually are going to need like a 252 Adamant. Not like 252, but basically we want to get that number to KO Kyogre. So it's not full investment, but it's going to be probably like 160, 164. Awesome. So 164 plus nature. Because we actually need it to be like that, I think. Let me just check something. Yeah. That's such a weird thing. And it's normally, like I said, you always want to put your points in your natures if you're like going to be putting a lot of points in them. Giratina already has like amazing HP. I don't know if we want to put that much in HP. I still think we like will, just because we know that we want to. And then maybe something like 36... 44. I'd rather put the 44 here and then the 36 here. Normally, you'd want to be putting your points in your defense stats first if you're going to be putting a lot of points into them, but since we're not, it's still worth it though. No, it's actually higher. Yeah, so if we're not putting any points in there, it's still better to actually put our points into attack, because like we wouldn't even be able to get to this number 155 even if we went to 252, right? We're still 3 points short, so we have to go 164, which means it's not necessarily like amazing. It's not like super optimal, right? But it is gonna be what it is. All right, is that correct? Do I not have enough points for this? Am I like bad at math? Oh, that's 46 somehow. 44. I feel like this is wasting points, though. I really do. I really do feel like this is wasting points here. So let's just go 204. And let's bulk this one up a little bit. I like that. Yeah, because Giratina does not need that much like at all. Actually, I'm actually going to go 196 and put 44 in this. There. I like that. I like that a lot. 250 is as high as I'll invest on that. Otherwise, you're going to start seeing diminishing returns. Basically, I've talked about this a lot. You know, a good example of a Pokemon that gets diminishing returns is something like a Blissey. So, like a Blissey, for example, you can see if we plug in like a regular Blissey set. And you can see like how much damage this Stonage does. It does like 117 to 138. If we were to put points in defense, it cuts it in half. For the same 252 points. Put those same 252 points in attack, and it only cuts about like 10%. So you do start to see diminishing returns at certain points in HP, and you start to see that around the 219 number, to where you're not really getting as much, and it just gets progressively worse. Which means this is as most as I'll dictate to putting in HP without going into really, you know, disadvantageous situations. And I generally think that like this is as high as you can possibly go. As for Kommo, I think the moveset for Kommo is going to be something like Clangor Scales. Obviously, we're going to build a special attacker, something like Flamethrower, and then probably just Aura Sphere. I think that you can talk about going Focus Blast. Maybe we should actually just calc it. Is Focus Blast correct? Kommo. So Kommo Arigato, Mr. Roboto. And let's go against Incineroar. Like, do we need Focus Blast to be able to one-shot Incin? If it gives us a one-shot, whereas like Aura Sphere wouldn't and would just proc like a berry, like I'll take the Focus Blast, because that's just a situation where that would be better. So let's calc Aura Sphere. If like they're both a two-shot, it's obviously better to go Aura Sphere because one can miss and one can't. So you can see you can get it right there. That's our set. So we can KO a regular Incin, but remember every single Incin is going to be like this. Right, so this technically can one-shot an Incin, but I think most Incins right now are built heavy specialty investment. They're usually rocking at least like this much. So since they both can't one-shot, and so since they are both a two-shot, it's better just to stick with the Aura Sphere in that situation. And like I said, Kommo is a great Pokemon because it trades super well versus Incin and Rillaboom. As well as like a lot of the other non-restricted Pokemon, as well as like Regieleki. I think it's just a really underrated Pokemon right now. We already talked about our EV spread. Very simple. Because we need exactly this speed stat to be able to KO the things that outspeed things like Shadow Rider. And remember just to make this a 0, so we don't do as much to our Giratina. Let's see, the rest of the mons though, I think Wims is going to be able to Sash. This will probably build, I wouldn't even be surprised if we wanted to build like Roar on this thing. I'm really liking the Nihilego here, too. I think Nihilego is a perfect Pokemon here, because that's how we can, like, check Zern. I think Zern's going to be a big problem for this team, and Nihilego's going to have to carry pretty hard. Whimsicott can be Sash. Incineroar, should we be Citrus? I think we can get away with Citrus on Incin. I think Incin's going to have to do a lot of heavy switching in on things like Shadow Rider, and if we want to have a good Shadow Rider matchup, I think Incin's going to be very valuable. With Lecky, though, I'm so sorry to keep on using this set, but I actually just think it's, like, the best set. We're not going to be using the Air Balloon on this one. We're using the Magnet. But, yeah, I am such a fan of this Lecky set. And I think it's, you know, people always ask me, it's like, that's a... Oh, I'll give a good story here. They always say, like, that's a... You know, you tell us all the time, like, you can use all these cool Pokemon, and, you know, you can... You're like, in the last video, you used, like, the Zamazenta, and the one that used the Power Spot Groudon, and you're using all these cool teams, and it's so fun to see you using, like, unique ways to play VGC. But then we watch you on stream and you say, if you're not using the top 3 most serious SG Pokemon, you're throwing. And both are right. Basically, like, you know, when I made this team, I put the Giratina, and then I added immediately my Regieleki and my speed control for my Prankster Tailwind. And those are just tools that this format, you need to have those, because if you don't have those, you're at such a disadvantage at the start of the game. Unless you're playing like a team like Trick Room or something that doesn't require that, you know, intensive speed control from the start. You're at such a big disadvantage that they can just bully you in the team preview and disrespect your lead options. Like, if you don't have Prankster Tailwind, or like ways to stop their Prankster Tailwind from being a factor, they kind of just lead with it and roll you over in like 2 turns. And this Regieleki definitely helps hold that at bay, and it gives us the opportunity to do the same thing to other people who don't have as optimal of teams. So I'm really a fan of this Regieleki set. Going back to my kind of start of my point is, if you were to ask me, like, that's a, you know, you're using these meme teams, you say one thing and do another, I would actually just use one team for this whole format, and I would not change it at all. I would use a Kyogre team. I would go like Kyogre Torn, and that's the team that I would use for the next 2 or 3 months, or however long we have this format. And if you guys want to make the most optimal teams, that's probably the way to do it. But that doesn't mean, you know, we can't have fun with this wheel, spin it up every once in a while, and land on Pokemon that are a little bit less optimal. That's a pretty optimal one. But yeah, I would probably just use Kyogre. Anyways, I'm getting off track. I like this Regieleki set. It outspeeds the things you need to outspeed. It outspeeds the things. It outspeeds things. It does the damage, and it just has enough in the bag. Sashwim here for sure. Probably gonna be like Protect. Always put Protect on your Tailwind setters. There's that. Gonna be using the Encore this time for sure. We don't have terrain control in this team, which is a little bit bad, but I think we'll be okay. And I know 252 Timid. Alright, and make sure that's 0. Cool. Everything's looking good. Incineroar. So, I'm a big fan of Incineroar. Rocking the Citrus Berry here. And make sure to make that Intimidate. So, we're going to go Fake Out for sure. I don't necessarily know how much pivoting I'm going to do, so I don't actually think I need Parting Shot. I just don't think that I need it. I actually think something like Roar is going to be better because it's going to help us in our Trick Room matchup. It's going to help us versus our Xerneas matchup. After that, I still like using Darkest Lariat because we're actually going to be putting a lot of points in attack. And the reason we want to put about 100 points in attack is because that's how you can one-shot Zacian with Flare Blitz. If we go into our damage calculator, we plug in, there's already an Incineroar over there. So plug that in, go to an Adamant, changes to a Zacian. So like a standard Zacian set. Make this Flare Blitz. So that's about enough to KO with Zacian. Any more? I don't want to waste any more points because we actually need the rest of the points for like specific like damage mitigation. But I do like that this can one-shot pretty much any Zacian set with the Flare Blitz, as you can see right there. That's definitely more than enough. 87% chance to KO. We take those all the way to the bank. We need this much investment to basically not get KO'd. Actually, it's 144. Sorry, and then we put 12 right there. So we need like basically that much investment to not get KO'd by like close combat and things like that after we get an Intimidate. Is it 140 and 4? Sorry. So that's the Incineroar set that I've been liking a lot in this format. Very similar to the Regieleki. You see me use this in a lot of the videos. Nihilego is up next. Nihilego rocking a 103 base speed. It's going to outspeed things like Garchomp and other base 100s. You know, I don't actually see an issue with going like a 252, 252. I think it's a little bit wasteful. Just because like you actually only need like 236 on this Pokemon with Timid Nature to outspeed things like base 100s. But you know what? Nihilego is a popular enough Pokemon to where like you could totally do the 252 Timid and make sure you don't lose Nihilego speed ties, and that's more of a reason for me. I don't actually think I want to go Power Herb. I actually am just not feeling the Power Herb on this guy. I would like to use Sash. I like the Sash here. I mean, we could also just go with an Expert Belt. Oh, I'll just go Life Orb. Life Orb's fine. So we're just going to go Protect. I like Ally Switch here. I love Ally Switch on Nihilego. It's one of my favorites. And we just go Sludge Bomb. And we go Power Gem. A lot of people are like, what? You need to go Meteor Beam. Unlike Meteor Beam on this Pokemon. Because basically, if I were to use the rest of these 3 sets, and then I blow my Meteor Beam on something, like I can't hit things for super effective rock anymore. And I'd rather just keep this, get my Beast Boost into these stats, and just be a menace with this Life Orb. I'd rather choose the Life Orb personally. So it looks like that's almost okay. We need 2 more moves on this Giratina. And this is where it starts getting a little bit hard. We did calc Stone Edge, so we're going to put Stone Edge on there. And this is great for things like Ho-Oh as well. And yeah, like, I like things like Dragon Claw. We don't necessarily need dual Wing Beat anymore. There's not really a reason to go Iron Head. Like, even a super effective Iron Head is going to double into 160. That's still weaker than a Poltergeist. Like, it's still weaker. Poltergeist is going to get a 55 off that. It's going to be 165, so it's going to be stronger to use Poltergeist instead. But that doesn't mean there's not like a bunch of really cool tech moves that Giratina can use. Like maybe we want to go Pain Split. Maybe we want to go Substitute like we were talking about with that Groudon. Maybe even a Thunder Wave or a Will-O-Wisp or even a Breaking Swipe could be a really, really good play. I actually think Breaking Swipe's kind of dope. Even Icy, when there's so many cool moves that Giratina does get that aren't necessarily, you know, damaging moves. Let's see though. Sub is okay. I'm like actually feeling this Breaking Swipe right now, as weird as that sounds. I feel like Breaking Swipe can give us the, I don't know, I don't want to restrict it having to intimidate things, if that makes any sense. I'm not feeling that. What are situations where Will-O-Wisp would be good? Like, if you Will-O-Wisp Rillaboom, I'd rather just hit it, right? Situations where Thunderwave's good, I'd rather just hit the things half the time. I think I'm just going to put Shadow Sneak as this last spot. Just to be able to break sashes, like, mid and late game. It's great for Urshifu Dark, being able to finish those things off. So we're building this kind of like an Urshifu. Another thing we could do is just put Dragon Claw here to give us a better matchup versus other dragons. But we have a Kommo-o for that matchup, so like, we don't actually need it. So something like this is okay. It's a little bit going into the realm of like, holy moly, I can't fight a normal type. And I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I'm not taking that. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. I think I'm just gonna have to go Dragon Claw, which I'm not a fan of. But it's okay. Dragon Claw is better than nothing. If I end up getting costed a game because I don't have Shadow Sneak, it is what it is. But I like this team, and you know what? I think this team can actually do pretty good. And actually, this is a pretty decent order. So let's move these guys just a little bit right there. And let's see what we can get done. Lots of protects. I think we got shots. Let's play some games. All right, Shadow Rider. That's a pretty good matchup, I would say. Like, we've tucked a little bit for Shadow Rider in the terms of, like, we have an Incineroar, and we know what we want to switch out. We know that we outspeed Shadow Rider with this. They have Fake Out. They have Speed Control. I actually think that going Lecky is a solid lead option, because if they want to lead, like, into Shadow Rider, we can just go for our Electro Web and be in a good spot. Let's see. Do I want to lead with Whims or Incin? I think I'm going to lead with the... I actually think I want to lead with these two and force whatever they're going to do. I think we have to bring Incin, and I think I'm going to bring the Giratina, even though, like, Giratina, that's an Urshifu, a Shadow Rider, and a Darmanitan. I'm still bringing this thing. Still bringing the Giratina. Showing you guys the content you want to see. Not the best matchup for Giratina, though. Cool. It's a good matchup for me, though. That's a good lead for me, I would say. We just go Electro Web, Clang. And they're not Sash over there, so probably Sash on the Lecky. Should be able to get a KO on at least the Lecky this turn. And I want to see if they're Electro Webbing me. So if I'm faster than their Lecky and I'm able to Electro Web first, that'd be really, really nice, because it would make it so our Kommo-o is then faster than Lecky too, so we're able to KO it before it can drop our speeds at all. If for some reason... Oh, I was going big. Alright, they won their speed tie. It's not even a speed tie. They probably just their full speed. But we are going to be able to hit that. And then we should be able to KO here. Yep, cool. So they're probably just going to bring out Shadow Rider here. I think I can play around this. Like, we haven't Sin Switch him. We just hard switch out. We protect Lecky, hard switch out Kommo. And then we fodder Kommo, then bring back out a Lecky, and Lecky has the speed. And then we just lower the Shadow Rider and we'll be fine. So it's going to be a little bit of positioning that has to get done. But I'm happy with how things are going so far. They're probably just going to Helping Hand, right? I wonder if Helping Hand would even KO. Because I don't have a Spadef drop yet. I just have a speed drop. They'd KO the Lecky, though, for sure. So I don't want to just throw them out. I don't want to throw that away. Awesome. So, oh, Expanding. That would have definitely KO'd the Kommo for sure. Yeah, I think I might just fodder the Kommo at this point. Because the Lecky is more actually, it's more valuable to fodder the Giratina. Look at me using my Giratina correctly. It might not even die. Definitely going to go with the Dark Slate into that spot to break Sash in case they want to do something cheeky. I'm not afraid of anything an Entity can do to my Incin at all. So let's see what they're using here. They're probably just forcing a Follow Me, which is the correct play. So an Astral Barrage, absolutely fine. Giratina, not even dead. Not even dead. And a procced our policy. Look at me out here. The truth is we out here. So Incin's going to get that KO on Entity. And the thing is, we can just come out with Shadow Rider or Lecky and be in a good spot. The problem is that Hitmontop. And they are orbed. They are big orbed. Yeah, I think it's fine. We'll let them KO our... They'll go probably Fake Out here and Astral. I don't even know if they'll get the KO. But we'll see what they get done. Gonna definitely protect the Giratina for now. No? Is he close combating? Bro, don't throw away. Don't throw away your Hitmontop. How fast are you? Alright, it's fast top. I'm really surprised that their Hitmontop went for close combat instead of Fake Out. That's kind of nutty. Gotta come with the Lecky, though. Lecky plus Magnet. We should be able to get a KO here. I'll definitely go for a Poltergeist in the Hitmontop. Dragon Claw can KO it. It's at -1. No, I'm only at +1. I need the Poltergeist, actually. And it's probably going to be using... It's probably going to be using Wide Guard this turn. Hopefully Thunderbolt takes this guy out. Yeah, there's a Wide Guard. Cool. Thunderbolt. Take that thing out. Lecky busted out here. Poltergeist. Giratina. One-hit KO. And they scoop. And we take those all the way to the... Alright, look at this. This is an amazing team. Standard. Like, super, super standard. Tauren Ogre, Shedinja, Regieleki. Like, it doesn't get much more standard than this. I'm actually a pretty big fan of leading, like, Kommo-o Giratina and trying to be a bully in this situation. I think Whimsicott's also totally usable, but we do need to pack the right mons in the back to respect the Shedinja. So, like, Incin would be nice, but I don't think we have enough room for it. I think we're going to probably go Whims and Nihilego. And try to, like, Tailwind later than them. And that's probably the best that we're going to have. Because they're definitely bringing the Shedinja, so we have to bring the right mons to be able to deal with it. Alright, Lecky Torn. Yeah, that's great for me. Because, like, they could switch in Ogre and go for that, but I'd still be able to get my Brutal Swing off. So I'm actually going to Brutal Swing and probably Poltergeist. Dragon Claw be able to KO that. At the very least, like, I don't want to miss. That's the thing. Is like, I really don't want to miss a Poltergeist. I think I will Poltergeist, though, just in case they switch out. They Volt switch out for Kyogre. There's a Tailwind. It's fine. Volt switch out for Kyogre. Cool. Yeah, it's about to be bad for you, Chief. It's about to be bad for you, son. I got a lot of damage. And you about to be donezo. So, Brutal Swing. Policy procking it up. Survey says, show me the damage. Are you fucking real right now? Just missed that. Oh, that was my one shot. That was like my one shot, I think, at not losing this game. Because they're not going to let me do that now. They're going to nuke the crap out of me, probably. Yeah. That sucks. I had it. Oof. Imagine if he was just dead. Alright, that one hit. There we go. Still very, very bad situation for me to be in right now. I can double protect. There's the Lecky. I think you have to do it like this. I wish I had Shadow Sneak right now, right? Yeah, at least they can't break the Nihilego that easily. So we'll be able to take a KO on the Tauren, and then we're going to hopefully get the outspeed potential, because we'll be able to protect next turn, wait out the last turn of Tailwind. Yeah, this is, if it's Sash Lecky, though, we just lose. That's a good mon to see. I want to go for it like this. This is the last Tailwind turn. That doesn't KO. Are you going after the Giratina or the Nihilego? Yo, Giratina! Big damage. Big damage. And we just won. And we just won. Just like that. Even with the Poltergeist miss. We take those. Giratina busted out here. Beaten Tauren Ogre? Where's your Shedinja? You can totally Grassy Glide me, Chief. You do know there's a Nihilego on the board, though, right? Right? You do know? Yo, we take those all the way to the bank. You'll love to see. All right, this is a hard final boss. There is Yveltal versus the Giratina player, and they have so much fake out / redirection. This is gonna be very, very hard. I think though that I can get away with going Whims. I think Whims is a great way to do this. I don't see an issue with going like Whims Lecky because I can just double protect, and if I hard switch or switch correctly, I think those are all really good. I also think Kommo-o can be usable here. Flamethrower is good versus Steela. Incineroar would be nice, but I feel like they have so much more pivoting than me. I feel it's nice, but it can't necessarily give me what I need. I feel like I am going to have to policy proc at some point, so that's why I want the Kommo to do that for me. I mean, if this is going to be their lead, I can just be a bully and hit them in the face. The Seeds, wow. As weird as it sounds, I think this still KOs. You could totally do that. Like, what are you going to do? Screen? Are you screening right now? That's crazy if you're screening. Yeah, white screen. Sick. I like that. I will definitely encore it, though, and just Volt Switch. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't KO there. So, what are they going to do? Oblivion Wing? They're not Oblivion Wing here. If anything, they're Dark Attacking right here. Yeah, Snarl's fine. Yo, I could have avoided that with my Kommo if I had Soundproof. They missed on Whims, which is actually a really, really good play here. Feeney's stuck using that. Let me think about this. Moonblast is actually not terrible damage. And I think they're switching out here for either Incin or Rilla. I haven't really decided which one yet. but there's no way it's staying in. I think if they're going to snarl again, I want them to just snarl and proc my policy for me. Steal it. That's great. So Tailwind's up. Oblivion Wing, that sucks. I thought they would proc my policy for me with a snarl. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. I still don't think they one-shot me either, though. So like a Stone Edge might be able to do it if I can get my connections. And I want to see if the Steal pops something like a Leech Seed or a Protect or a Sub. We can just Encore it. Stone Edge, let's go. Big damage. Snarl. Yes. Policy procced. We take those. That's a lot of my Giratina, though. Leech Seed. Awesome. So I can just Encore that Steela. It sucks I have to let that happen. But I can Encore there and Stone Edge here. They can Protect, but like they don't really get anything off of that. So that's Encore great. Stone Edge. Connections. One shot of the Yveltal. Finish it off. Yo. They do have the seeds on me right now. They do. They have these seeds. But I think I'm in a good enough spot. Do I do this? Do I dare? I actually think I'm gonna raw Encore in case they go for the fake out on my Grim or my Rilla. On my Giratina. They can't fake out that slot. They're gonna be Grassy Gliding. Yeah, it's just fine. It's just fine to Protect. I gotta not throw. That's the hard part, is not throwing in this situation, I think. Yeah, they can go for a Grassy Glide, but I think I can one-shot that Rilla. Protect's good. I can just Encore it now, though. Yeah, I gotta do something what I can with it. Like, I gotta do what I can with all these mons. We're gonna Encore here for sure and try and one-shot that Feeny with Poltergeist. Yeah, they're playing on the Encores for sure. Poltergeist, can we get a one-shot? Survey says almost with the one-shot. Now I can't use Poltergeist anymore. Nature's Madness to finish off Whims. That's actually really good for us. I actually think that's going to be a good thing. We're able to bring in Regieleki here. We're going to switch out of Giratina. Just so it doesn't die. It's still technically useful. Awesome. It's a great Protect. Double Protect. Wow. So yeah, we see what we want here. Let's go Thunderbolt. Is it Nature's Madness and Light Screen? I'm actually more afraid of, like, Feeny, I would say. Awesome, this is so good for me. So we're going to be able to kill the Feeny here. Yep, and we're going to get a Flamethrower off. Sick. So that redirects into, or it doesn't redirect, but it goes into that slot. Should do about half. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Give me that Grassy Surge. Grassy Terrain. All terrain. Let's see. Dragon Claw probably does KO this guy. Let's see, though. I think I have to Poltergeist. Rilla actually has a pretty decent stat there. They've shown Protect on Rilla already. I knew they were going to do that. Cool. I mean, that's why I'm splitting my damage, right? You can have Leech Seeds all you want. You can KO on the Giratina all you want. Like, I have what I need to win, right? I can KO your Rilla here, and then I just have Regieleki in the back to win the game. I wonder if they're going to go for like a double Protect Leech Seed. That's probably their only play. Yep, that's the right play. Making the right plays. We're seeing the correct plays get made. Poltergeist with the big whiff, yo. Poltergeist slacking right now. Not going to lie, Poltergeist slacking out here. But it's alright. It's going to Protect this turn. I think that's totally fine. Actually, there's no reason to throw away the Mon. There's absolutely no reason. We just hard switching the Lucky. They shouldn't have a move that can KO us on the switch in. They didn't Protect. Alright. Yeah, they went for another Leech Seed. Into, they thought I was going to switch out that slot. We got it, though. Thunderbolt is a lot of damage. So is Flamethrower still. They can Protect if they want, but yeah, we got it. We got it, yo. This team has all the tools that you actually need. I think this is actually a pretty cool team. It has Giratina is an amazing EV spread. Regieleki's good. Whimsicott was solved with some Encores. Kommo-o is a lot stickier and harder to remove than people give it credit for, and it's very well disguised with that Choice Scarf. And Nihilego was there to, you know, seal up the deal late game, as well as just a little bit of redirection with Ally Switch if you need it. So hopefully you guys like this little series we're doing where we spin the wheel of fate. Guys, remember, if you guys want to spin the wheel for yourself, there's links to it in our Discord. You can join for free. It's completely free to join the Discord. We have a ton of active members. If you're looking for, more tips on VGC, some rental codes for Series 10, or even people to play Pokemon Unite with, think about checking out the Discord. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.